It's August 3rd, 2025, and Brave Collective, this is your State of the Alliance. The state of Brave is strong. It's only been a few weeks since our last update, but I wanted to make sure that we took the time to get together and give you an update of what's happening and highlight some things that we want you to make sure you're paying attention to. So on the Warfront this week, we saw Northern Coalition lose their last constellation in cash. So this is part of our slow pressure campaign, and it's really important for you to support our FCs when they ping and to support their efforts. And so one thing you'll hear me repeat a lot today is that you need to have a jump clone in CTAC-J. Before we started, I gave people who were here early, I said the first 20 people to put their jump clones in Slack. I was going to give them 100 mil. I think we were getting close to 20, but if we haven't, you might want to do that. Maybe if some more people do it, I'll throw you something else. So on the Warfront, we had a few opportunities to undock caps, but no big fights. We got to kill a jammer, but we would prefer to get in a big fight. But you need to have your ships in the right place to make that happen, and you need to have your jump clones ready to go. We do want to keep the pressure on PanFam, whether the war is hot or kind of cold where it is right now, because we want the fighting to be in their backyard and not ours. And we've had plenty of fighting in our backyard in Delve, and it's time for us to return the favor. So again, our Coalition Anciplex network is almost complete. In the next week, you'll see some of the first Anciplexes start popping up, and then majority over the next 2 weeks and a few later than that. But that'll make maneuvering much easier. So one reminder that I always try to give in sodas, but I think I've missed in the last few, is that part of being brave is being excellent to each other and your allies. So we do have alliance rules on what that means to be good to each other, but that is like the bare minimum. So I just want to make sure that everyone is taking time to make friends, help each other out, and maximize your fun and other people's fun is really something that I like to see in Brave. During this time, if we're not calling for jump clones or if we don't have planned ops, do take some time to make some ISK as well. All right, so we did have a military update that came from Shattered that had a lot of details on doctrines that I'm not going to get into. If you've got questions on those doctrines, there is a Brave Updates Slack thread that you can talk to the military team about those updates. But the number one most important thing that I'm going to be repetitive about is having that jump clone in CTAC-J so that we are ready to go to support the coalition and push the war. And this will be a long-term war. So you need to have that jump clone ready to go. All right, again, if you have assets in N3 and X2, which were the stagings immediately prior to our move, please watch for pings for those things to get moved. That should mostly be capitals, that there have been Sinos in the safe Sino fleet that you can move with, or Rokes and FNIs, and I think we're adding flycatchers to CTAC-J as well. All right, this next reminder, this one's important. If you're in game right now, go ahead and pull up your assets tab, and you should look at all the structure names of all the assets you have and make sure that there are any that are not do not use or move out named, because you need to get those moved, because those are probably getting taken down by our allies. As we're reshaping our space, Goons, lived in Tenerifis. They had a lot of structures here. Now they're starting to move those over towards some other area. You need to make sure that you're not sending assets to asset safety that you don't want to happen. So look out for those do not use or move out names. If you need help with moving things, you need to get in the Help Me Move channel. You need to be reaching out to your corporation leadership and get things moved. The majority or move ops are basically complete. We'll help people out as we can from here. All right, so updates from the departments. Again, I've already put it in Alliance chat, but we definitely want you to subscribe to the new YouTube channel that we're putting all Brave content on. That's in Alliance chat. And I want to give a shout out to Kane, Carnifax, and Unlikely, who have done a ton of efforts for that new channel and gotten a lot of content. And I'm happy to see their efforts there. From the infrastructure team, Kara's here and can answer questions later. But again, our first Ansiblexes are coming in a week. Our Super Capital Satoyo for building is coming very soon. So if you have plans for that, we will. There is a group for Super Cap builders that's managed. Watch Indie Bros public channel for more information on that. And we're looking forward to our supers and titans getting in build and adding to our fleet. More and more Alliance moons are getting on the schedule. Some of those are still on the old pool schedule, so those will get reorganized. But when there are moons, make sure you're taking advantage of that. We still have more structures to put down, large structures, to make sure that we are able to use our space well and can defend it well. So thank you to the Brave Postboys team who is organizing that, and there will be more Brave large structures in our space. All right, next thing. So if this is kind of to our more experienced high SP pilots, but if you are a Titan pilot and you are not in the Titan bridging channel, please make sure you reach out to military and say that you're willing, or say if you don't have the skill plan done, tell us where you're at on that. And we want to make sure that we have as many bridging Titans available to us to make sure that we have that we can get our fleets into the action when needed. Since I'm talking Titan pilots, for people who have the long-term goals, right now is definitely kind of in a super and Titan building phase for the game. We see a lot of we see PanFam pinging their members to build supers and Titans. So if there is a big fight like the M2 fight years ago, we want to make sure that Brave has a nice fleet there too. So once we have our Super Cap facilities online, I hope some of you will take that leap into that next part of the game and add to the Brave Super Cap fleet. All right, so this was a very short update, but the main purpose of this is to make sure that we stay in touch. So now I'm going to answer some questions. If you put questions in Alliance chat, I will get to those next. And yeah, so I'm looking in Alliance chat now. Tyro Kato said ETA on Escape from Ermelin. That is very soon. We want to make sure that we get people, we don't miss a lot of people on holiday. So we'll try to have some of those, but we'll work with the military team and make sure we have escape ops from Ermelin and make sure that the logistics offers jump rating from there. Does the station marked as for sale also fall under the move out warning category? If you don't need to use it, then technically they should wait longer to unanchor it. But if it's for sale, then they're hoping not to hold on to it. So moving out of there is probably a good idea. We'll be seeing new fund doctrines soon if the old ones are being retired. So some of this I want to leave up to Shattered to answer. But so some of the doctrines are so cheap that they're covered under the 50 mil flat. You can get SRP for anything. So they didn't need to be a separate doctrine. FCs can call any of those things at any time. And other ones, that there are new doctrines, and some of that depends on what the military wants to do. But there is a asking Shattered in the Brave Updates channel is probably the best thing to do for doctrines. I think a lot of us might still have FNIs and O4T. What's the plan for getting those back? Waiting for ANSIs to go up. Some Kiwi, that's something you're in the FC channels, so work with the FCs and we can get some of those back up here. Yeah. Booger, we're trying some different things. I don't want to answer for Shattered on the theory crafting for Ti-Fi. I think we weren't getting some of the performance we were looking for out of them. So the Ravens have some nice options, but I'll leave the theory crafting to our FC team. So the Azana, for Ti-Fi armor ships, you can fly those in the armor Raven fleets right now. All right. For the you guys are asking me all the doctrine updates. Ask those in the Brave updates threads. Let's do other things. So Dalek is asking about Beehive. Someone lost a dread while crabbing. Are there plans for crab covered so I don't have to go somewhere else? So the absolute safest place to do crab beacons is within Beehive, and that will probably always be true based on just coalition and the number of people able to cover Beehive. Will there be cake? There is cake. You have to figure out where it is. Thoros, I said before that I played a soccer game with the neighborhood kids, and no, the parents lost the golden goal at the very end, and I'm exhausted. Thoros, I think August you probably won't see the war ramp up. But September, fall, those are good times for it. But these things kick off at unexpected times, so that's really important to have your jump clone ready to go and have doctrine ships ready to go. I definitely prefer cake over death, and I like comedy shows too. I'm going back and seeing if I missed any other questions. Some Kiwi, no, we're not moving. Kiwi, Outer Passage is next after Cache, and there have already been some good coalition fights out there. So the majority of small alliances that had been in Innsmother and kind of were abandoned there have been moved to shield Outer Passage. So Fnatic Legion has been pushing on those, and I think we can probably get involved in those fights too. Thorman asked about any option for SRP on Goon fleets. We've talked about that in the past. Some of the coalition, other alliances in the coalition do some partial, but really we want you to be in Brave fleets if at all possible. Do we know the timeline on how Alliance Moon cycles will work? Kara, do you have that? Do you want to answer that one?
Okay, so Brave fleet will be like what we had in Delph, which means we will have a moon every other day. But for now, we are still in the alignment phase and we are waiting for more moons on Athanos to be transferred to us. So it will take like 3 weeks, I expect, for the schedule to start getting into the final shape.
Dalek, you're asking very specific questions on Beehive. If you're in the CAP group, I would ask there. I'm not sure on those. Hunty Fishy asked to make our own version of Beehive. If you want your own version of Beehive, then we need a lot more people in Brave, and we need a lot of people to have Redeemers and a lot of people to have caps. So we need to see the numbers in fleets and the number of Brave just going up in general. Okay, well, for the recording, the question slowed down, so I'm going to go ahead and stop that. I'll hang out for a little bit longer. But with that, I will say like and subscribe to our new YouTube channel, and stay classy, have fun, and be brave. Thanks, everybody.